Big shout to okjersey.com. Scan the QR code below and actually go to the link below to get affordable football shirts from all the European leagues, including the English clubs, all of them, Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City, Spurs, Chelsea, all of them, of course, are all there. You can get the current ones, past seasons, and also some absolute gems out there, vintage ones, and actually very affordable football shirts, high quality, like the one I'm wearing right here. It is very simple to get one. Let me show you how. You go to the website. It's very simple. You click on the Premier League, pick the club you want. For me, I pick Newcastle, for example. You go there, you will find all the current ones, training ones as well. You add whatever you want to the cart. Of course, check the sizes, add a patch, add to cart, but also never forget, as it says below, scan the QR code and put the code JUDGE in the checkout to get 8% discount. It's that easy. Just go to the website, check the football shirt you want. You will not regret it. Now, let's get back to our stream. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. And I want to ask you guys something. Is YouTube bugging in the chat, guys? Let me know, because I think StreamYard is bugging. How is everyone doing? We got Dylan here wearing sunglasses, shades, of course, because they won against Liverpool 3-0. We got Chelsea, third. Charlie, on course for title race. Of course, Liverpool are 8th in the Champions League and are 8th as well in the league, bro. It's fucking mad as well. We got Paz, top of the league. Top of the league right there, out there, second in the Champions League. Hit that like button, people, if you guys are here, and let me know in the comment section if it's working, because StreamYard is bugging a little bit for me. So the comments are not showing, actually. So guys, let me know in the comment section, where are you tuning in from? I want to know if the comment section is working for everybody. Just type, where are you tuning in from, guys? And how's everyone doing?
That's good, man.
Good.
Okay, we can start with the games and everything, but I want you guys to listen to this, because I want to know what you guys think about this for real.
Play quite different roles at Chelsea and Arsenal, but if they swapped roles at each other's clubs, who would do the other one's role better? Declan Rice would do Caicedo's job significantly better than Caicedo would do Declan Rice's. I was thinking about this on the way in.
Significantly.
Significantly, yeah. Caicedo can't. I know he's started adding a few goals to his game now, but he can't take free kicks like Declan Rice. He can't dribble like Declan Rice. He can't shoot like Declan Rice. Declan Rice feels like a much more
He can shoot. This boy can bang from the edge of the area. He can goal against Liverpool. He's actually got more
goals though than Declan Rice this season.
For sure, this season, but we didn't just start this season, for sure. And I think Declan Rice has done it on bigger stages as well. I know Caicedo's won the Conference League.
I know this has rattled a lot of people on Twitter, actually. I don't think people understood. What did you guys understand from what he said? Can I get Charlie, what did you understand he said?
Well, I guess essentially what he's saying is that if you ask Caicedo to do Rice's role, that he wouldn't be able to do it as well as basically you swapped them. If you swap teams and put the players in opposite teams, that Rice would do the job better, essentially, kind of thing.
Actually, he didn't say that. He actually said he didn't say that Rice is better than Caicedo. He said that if Rice is playing the 6, he would do a better job than if Caicedo is doing the 8 role. I'm actually I wanted to discuss this because I actually wanted Nico Gonzalez to be involved because there's a lot of City fans that actually say that Nico Gonzalez has been one of the best midfielders in the league lately. And Nico Gonzalez is doing the 6 and he's doing the 8 role. The reason why I'm saying that, because we look at the midfield and it looks like the midfield is winning games for the teams because the attack is good, but the midfield is the one that is winning the games for. People say every stream. It's not me. This has rattled the big account for Chelsea. By the way, StreamYard is not working at all. Are the comments showing for you guys?
No, there's no comments coming up.
No. It's been there's one comment at 2:07 and another comment.
Guys, by the way, we have no comments. I think, can someone leave and come back and refresh the page to see?
Well, I'm going to open up YouTube. I'll open up YouTube on my laptop.
No, on YouTube, I know the comments are coming through.
Yeah, this has happened to me before. It comes back after a while, but yeah, they're not coming up.
Because I want to see if the new guys come in. When they come in, are the comments are going to show? That is the reality.
Yeah, it's working.
It's working. Guys, everybody in the thing, just put a comment in the comment section. I want to see if they come through for the guys or not.
I can see comments from 2:13, 2:14, but now I haven't seen anything else after that.
There's no new comments.
Nope.
Interesting.
StreamYard fix up.
Yeah, this is kind of strange. Yeah, it's very strange. I see Mafia's last comment, and I don't see any other comments as well.
I see CFCRD. That's it.
That's the last one.
On actual YouTube, it's fine. But
it's fine.
On the StreamYard, they're not coming up.
Yeah. Guys, can we get to 100 likes? Over 200 people in the house. About this, where do we think because I think John Obi Mikel as well that said that Chelsea midfield. I wanted to speak about Chelsea a little bit because Chelsea actually have the best attack, second best attack in the league. Their attack is better than Arsenal. Is it underrated, the attack? Because the names are not there. The Garnacho, Gittins, João Pedro is not scoring, he's not banging goals left and right. Are Chelsea attack underrated? Are we underrating Chelsea's attack?
No, I don't think it's underrated. The names aren't. You're right. The names aren't huge. They're not. There's no obviously Cole Palmer aside. There's no real stars in it as such. I mean, you got Esteval who's looking like he's going to be outstanding. But you got players like Pedro Neto who are very good players, but they're not star quality. They're not players that might single-handedly win you a game with a piece of brilliance. He works hard. He's in the team a lot for his defensive work rate and what he brings off the ball, more than what he kind of brings on it. But look, João Pedro has been decent enough. He's got 3 or 4 goals this season in the league. Garnacho started a bit slow, but he's got 4 goal contributions in his last 4 games now. And as you've got Esteval. Delap is still finding his way back to fitness after that long layoff. I don't think the attack's underrated. I just think that certain players have stood up. But again, not a lot of attack. The Chelsea attack, not a lot of scored goals. I mean, our top scorer this season is 4 goals, and it's Esteval, Moises Caicedo, and Enzo Fernandez. So that's in all comps. I think our top scorer in the league is maybe 3 or 4 goals. So it's not like they're underrated as such.
Can Chelsea challenge? Can Chelsea get close to Arsenal and City with that front line?
It depends. It's potential. There's potential, but for me, Mo, it's just it's the consistency over the course of a season. Like over a course of a season, we're yet to see the evidence that.
But you have consistent players. The likes of Caicedo's consistent.
Yeah, but
consistent.
but not enough of them are consistent. That's the point. Like you've got consistent performers within the team.
Yeah.
But you've got consistent performers within the team, but there's not enough consistent performers, all round. Like Garnacho will be like put a performance like he done against Wolves the other day, and then the next game he won't really do anything. You've got Pedro Neto who puts in a certain level of performance, but he's not always going to give you, a lot of output. So. It depends. If we win our next two games, right, Mo? Next two games are Burnley away, Arsenal home in the league. If we win both of them games, then providing Arsenal beat Tottenham, which they probably will, then Chelsea will be 3 points behind Arsenal. And then at that stage, you'd have to say at this point in time, if that were to happen, then if you're 3 points back after 12, 13 games, then at that stage, you are in the title race at that point. Now, whether you
with a shout to win it or no,
it's way too early to say that. If we get to, look, we're 6 points back now, right? If when we get to February or March, we're 6 points or less off the top, then we are seriously in the race. But right now, even if you're 3 points back in November, December. Like I still think it's too early to say, Chelsea are definitely in the title race or they're serious contenders. We'd be in a good position. Well, we were in this situation last season. We had an opportunity the last game before Christmas. If we beat Everton away, we would have gone momentarily top of the table before Liverpool played whatever game they had. We didn't win that game. And then we kind of fell off a cliff and we ended up getting Champions League qualification on the last game of the season. So, yeah, I mean, we're in a decent enough position, but I need to see more. I need to see a consistent run of wins, and I need to see us get into the new year, February, March time, in a similar position to what we are now, 6 or less points behind, and then I think we can seriously say we're serious contenders. But right now, we're not serious contenders right now. But I said if we win the next two league games, and you're 3 points back, then you're putting.
Well, City are not consistent, guys, and City are
way
2
more
points above.
but they're way more consistent.
They're
than
not.
Chelsea.
I don't think they are.
Yeah,
I think
Chelsea
I can name, but only Haaland, guys. Like, to be honest, like it's the shy away from the competition. It's the shy away from contention. I'm just gonna tell you, the only consistent player at City that actually will, like, over this season, is two players: Donnarumma, Dylan. You can back me if I'm wrong, and Haaland. Nico Gonzalez has been up and down. Nico Gonzalez have had games where he was subbed out, right? The back line is not consistent. He keeps changing the back line. Is it Gavardiol, Diaz, Stones once? You know what I mean? The Nico O'Reilly has been good, right? Like Matthias Nunes.
Diaz has been
good. Also, like, there is not a lot of consistency.
Doku's been consistent.
I know, but
Doku has the same GA as Trossard for Arsenal. Like,
yeah, but
Doku has been good, but he hasn't been that consistent.
Level though. Foden, I think, has been decent this season as well.
Foden up and down. Foden has 2 GA this season. It's 3 GA. Up and down. None of the City teams are consistent apart from Erling Haaland, who's banging goals.
You forward, but Haaland's been consistent.
Yeah, like nobody in the City. Maybe Nico O'Reilly sometimes.
Started playing the other day.
But that's all they need though. Like, as long as Haaland's firing, they're going to win games. Like,
I hear you, but you cannot talk about the consistency when Man City title contenders are not consistent as well. The only consistent team in the league, honestly, are Arsenal. Only consistent team, Arsenal. That's it.
At this point in time, yeah.
Like someone said in the chat, Doku has less GA than Neto. Like, and then okay. Like, I'm not saying Doku. I would rather have Doku. I would rather have Doku. But Chelsea have some consistent players, and Man City have some as well, right?
Yeah, but I don't think anyone's disputing that though.
Unless it's the manager, though.
But Man City got better quality.
Doku's been doing his thing this year. Is that what we're doing?
He's been good this year. I think he's been good all season.
We're not
just because he's not got the output necessarily, his performances have been good this season, in my view.
But guys, they don't know. Did you not watch him against Liverpool? Bro, he won that game.
And he,
Bro,
and by the way,
in the game he just played, like just a second ago.
yeah, but at the Emirates as well. By the way, Doku was cooking timber at the Emirates in that 1-1 draw. He was. He did. No, he did. Come on, we all know that he did.
I disagree with that one.
I don't think he was very, very good, but I don't think
These players are getting over, like they're getting over Brett. Like people will look at Doku shimmying and going left and it's bread him. Like I don't think. Don't get me wrong. Against Liverpool, he was mental. Cool, that's fair. But don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm saying he's cooked. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm not giving people their flowers before like that. Like people have cooked one guy or two guys in the season where we've played 14 games already, and people are acting like this guy's up for the Ballon d'Or already. Like, can we wait a second? Like, can we actually wait for someone to do the Mazzoline before we start breading them on this level? Like, don't get me wrong. He looked mental against Liverpool. Like, congrats. But let's wait. Because this is what when it comes to my players, everyone wants to wait and let's see, or grills them early. So what I want to do, can I see 5 games out of Doku in a row? Like, can I get that? Like, is that all right? Is that too much to ask? Can I get 5 in a row, bro? Is that all right? Something where the shimmy has something at the end of it. Because when Saka does it, you want something at the end of it. You want output. So I want the same thing from Doku. That's it. I just want, if you're gonna tell me that Doku's better than all these players, we need to judge them by the exact same standards. I don't want to hear, because he hasn't got that thing at the end of it. No. If you're going to put him with people that have the thing at the end of it, he better have the thing at the end of it. It's actually as simple as that. Like, we can't keep making excuses for people when we don't make the excuses for other people. Like, people are onto Eze, but like a lot of people, like there's a lot of other players that are doing the same thing.
To be fair, the only reason why Eze, to be fair, on Eze, right, the only reason why he's not getting as much flack as other players is because Arsenal are winning and doing well. If Arsenal weren't top of the league, Eze would be getting a lot more criticism for his performances and what he's doing. But we've seen it with players, right? If the team's doing well, then poor performances from individuals go under the radar. It's like Grealish at City in certain points in time. Like, he wasn't playing well, but the team were winning, so no one really said anything about it. And when you're a winning team and you're doing well, players that aren't performing well, no one speaks about it because the team's winning, and that's ultimately what it's all about.
That's very true. That is actually very, very, very true.
No, for sure.
He wasn't the best. I mean, sorry, no, Grealish wasn't the best.
Sometimes though, like I do. Do you not think that sometimes, like especially at an Arsenal or a City, like sometimes you have to be so good off the ball that it's gonna sacrifice kind of what you look like on the ball, which is kind of how Man City have killed Grealish. We're not going to get into that today, how you murdered Grealish's career, but yeah, I just think like even with Eze, like he does it. It's the same with Ødegaard. A lot of these people are getting murdered because of the things they have to do off the ball. It's that balance of getting that same output on the ball is going to be difficult. But I think,
but on that though, right? It's weird because players like Eze, for example, were signed because of what he's doing on the ball at Crystal Palace, right? That's why these players are signed. And then you go into Arsenal. Admittedly, they play a different way to what Palace are going to play. Teams going to set up differently against Arsenal than they do against Palace. And it's going to take a little bit of adaptation, right? But surely with a player like Eze, I'm not saying that he's good enough to earn status where he doesn't have to worry about the defense side of the game. Absolutely not. But surely you want to be more focused with Eze on what he's going to bring you on the ball, because that's the whole reason that he was signed, was for what he can do on the ball. Whereas now you're looking at Eze, right? And there's a lot of it where he's got to obviously, fit into the defensive side of games, do his defensive duties. This is not a young player. This is Eze, who's 27, 28, knows the Premier League inside out. Yeah, there's going to be an adaptation to a different style of play. But for me, maybe my expectations of Eze were too high. But I just expected a little bit more from him. But I would, if I was Arteta, I'd be looking at him thinking, like, the reason I signed this guy is for what he brings me on the ball. And it feels like when Arsenal are playing and Eze's in that team, it's not really set up to get the best out of him on the ball.
I don't think it's set up for. I don't think it's really set up for anybody, to be quite honest with you. I
agree. Yeah,
I think that's the kind of the way Arsenal is at the moment. I think we play a very team-oriented way. There isn't someone that's going to come into this team and be able to just be individually brilliant to a certain level because they have other responsibilities, and that's why I think we're so consistent, because our consistency comes from things that you can control and not things that you have to be in the mood for. And I think players that are as good as doing things like Eze and like those type of brilliant type of players, it's very difficult to be consistently brilliant, but I think it's easier to be consistent in the basics. And I think that's going to come at the expense of a lot of individual expression and output, really, which is something I'm kind of, I used to feel like as an Arsenal fan, like we used to be the beautiful football guys, I guess. And I got tricked into thinking like, yeah, like when we win the league, I want to do it the beautiful way. But now I just kind of don't care. And you can roll your eyes, Man City fan, but you ruined football, buddy.
Not my fault you lot are dead, innit?
Well, Gaffer ruined ball. But we'll get onto that another day.
I want to say one thing though, yeah. Just like you said about we kill like Grealish and all that. He's still got more Champions League than your whole club. Just saying.
Sorry, say that again.
He's got more Champions League trophies than your whole club, but
who?
Grealish. Just saying. Even though we killed him, he's still got more Champions League.
First of all, I love Grealish, so I don't know who you're combating with. I just think
you said we ruined him. I'm just saying he's got more Champions
League. You ruined him because he should have never went to a club like yours. And I think we could potentially look at the same thing with Eze in a couple of years' time. Like maybe this wasn't the best move.
But he needs a fast-paced team.
Opinion, buddy.
But Eze needs a fast-paced team. That's what he needs.
I mean, every team in the Premier League is, I guess, you could argue, is a fast-paced team.
No, like a quick counter-attacking team. That's what he needs.
So a bummy team.
A what?
So a bummy team.
Nah, just a team that can move fast.
Like who?
But we do fast football. To be honest, I would have loved them on my team. I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, you've been counter-attacking for 5 minutes, bro. Like,
bro, no.
Because
you're saying that he works well in a counter-attacking team. Does he not?
Right, the only reason that you're doing this quote-unquote counter-attacking because you can't do what you used to do, bro.
But we can adapt.
But you can't adapt. This is the first time Pep's not done the overwhelming stuff. So you can say you haven't won anything with adapting.
So that's good. So why are you taking that against him?
Innit? We are now adapting.
I haven't taken nothing against him. He said he's adapting, but I'm saying you haven't proved you.
Yeah, he is adapting. I think City are way more entertaining than before. It's actually great.
Changing something. A successful adaptation is getting the same results by doing multiple different things. You haven't achieved the same results by doing a different thing. So you can't say that you're adapting.
But you are adapting and you haven't won anything at Arsenal. Are you being successful in adaptation? I'm not following this.
He just said Man City are adapting. I'm saying you can't say that if you haven't retained the same amount of success whilst doing something different.
So Arsenal adapted.
So what is Arsenal then? So what are you guys doing?
You're now putting a claim on me that I haven't made.
Okay, so no one is successful. I'm not following.
No, listen to what I just said to you. I just said you cannot say that you're successfully adapting if you haven't maintained the same level of success.
I know what's successful. I said we are,
and you've just changed. So you can't say you successfully.
Well, if you look at the short term, and the results that they got since they've adapted to their new system, they have had success.
It's been 5 minutes. So
no, it hasn't been 5 minutes, bro. It hasn't been 5 minutes. We can only go off what they've done this season because they have adapted 3 games into the season.
You're telling me it's too early, but now I can say that they're successfully adapting.
Because it's different. Because we're talking about a different style. We're playing a different style. They're playing a different style of play, which everyone can see.
I disagree.
Okay.
You disagree with what? I don't understand. You disagree with what?
I don't think you can say you successfully adapted because there isn't enough samples.
Well, I mean, they're winning games while adapting the way they play.
That is not enough.
You're talking from an overall point of view about the trophies, the wins, the everything. But we're talking about it from just on a footballing perspective, what they're doing on the pitch.
How can you change the premise of what my statement was and tell me what we're now talking about?
No, because this is what I am getting from your statement. This is what you're looking at it from. You're looking at it from a trophy perspective. You're looking at it from an overall perspective. While we're looking at it just purely on the.
That's not my fault.
No, but even we argue different points, so it just becomes null and void after
Okay,
a while.
no. It's a better one.
I didn't
Do you
agree to
think
argue.
Arsenal has successfully adapted to the league then?
No.
That's fine. Okay.
At least he's keeping the same energy. I don't understand this.
I'm happy with that. You know, I'm happy with that.
We can question the premise, right? We can question the premise of your thought process. That we
What
can
is-
do that.
What do you have a problem with?
The fact that you said they haven't successfully implemented a different style when you can see on the pitch that they have. But your premise is going off the whole end of season trophies and what they're talking about success. Whilst we're talking about it from just a footballing perspective.
Okay, you can say it from a footballing perspective. However, the sample size of what they used to do is there. You've now seen something at the end of it. If Man City now will go to the end of the season and they change the way they're saying they win nothing, can you say that?
Yes.
That's not how is that successful.
I'm gonna tell you. Success, by the way, sometimes you gotta look at the way teams play and you actually say, have they progressed? In my opinion, Manchester City, yes, they have the team to win the league. But at the same time, a lot of people picked Man City to finish third this season. Some people picked them to finish fourth. If Man City actually get in a title race with Arsenal, for example, or whoever team is there, and they lose the league at the end, but I see Manchester City being successful with the new players, right? They don't have a Kevin De Bruyne, they don't have a David Silva, they don't have the same players that are retain the ball and play the pep ball, and I see them winning more games than not, and I see them getting points and racking up points, right? And they reach a Champions League, whatever, semi-final, quarter-final, whatever. I would call that for Pep Guardiola, that is a little bit of successful in adaptation. Is it successful at the end result in terms of winning the league? No. Similar for Chelsea, for example. Chelsea, Enzo Maresca has a problem difference between playing smaller teams and playing bigger teams. We know we saw him against PSG, but we see him against Wolves in the cup, but we see him in different games. If Maresca is able to change the style to be consistent enough during the league, even though they might not win a trophy at the end, by the way, they might not win the league or the Champions League, but the challenge for the league, for example, I can say that Chelsea successfully changed actually and be more consistent. You get my point here. You don't have, for us to say that someone adapted and changed the way they play successfully, it doesn't have to end up with 90. What if Arsenal get 99 points and they win the league in 99 points or 95 points, and Chelsea be more consistent and they get 90 points? They lost. They didn't win, right? But will any Chelsea fan...
is relative success for Chelsea now.
But what we're saying is that we see with our eyes that when Man City now are adapting and playing a different style and more compact in defense, playing more direct football, taking more risks, right? We see them winning more games. Let me give you another example. Liverpool, for example, Arne Slot have tried to actually implement his style, but he hasn't adapted. Why? Because they're losing games. Because they're getting ripped apart every game, because their midfield is wide open. So the adaptation didn't work. So he has to go back to what worked for him last season. Does that mean the adaptation didn't work? Does that make sense to you?
But here's the best one. Sunderland. Look at Sunderland. They have adapted so well to the Prem, the fourth. They've adapted coming from a bottom league, yes, coming up.
What you're saying, you feel like you're arguing against what I've said, but you're not. I just said to you, success is relative. And success in the context of Man City, we have to keep that in mind when we're talking about what is a successful adaptation. You can't say, oh, if Chelsea make top four, and then link those two things. Where Chelsea, Man U, and Spurs, they were just in hell. Anything out of hell is technically, I guess, a successful adaptation.
So why is it one rule for one rule for the other?
Because you're not in hell.
Bro, we don't shocking last season.
That's like, bro. Success is relative to whatever that team was, or whatever's happened to that team. You can't just say why is it one rule for another one. Do you have the same standards as Sunderland, brother?
No, obviously not.
You don't.
Sunderland have adapted very well.
Success is relative, then, don't you?
Can I go back to Chelsea a little bit before we end that? There's a lot of people that keep saying that Chelsea are not consistent because of the defenders and all the stuff, right? And their defenders not being consistent. Is that the reason? By the way, Chelsea's defense have improved. It's not as bad as people make it be. Yes, you lost against Brentford, but
I didn't lose to Brentford, lost to Sunderland.
Sorry,
yeah.
you drew. You lost to Sunderland. You drew to Brentford, right?
Yeah.
Is that on the defenders only?
No, obviously in those games, for example, Sunderland game, both situations, the goals we conceded were shocking pieces of defending, but we still only managed to score 1 goal against Sunderland. We still didn't create enough opportunities against the newly promoted side at home, which we should be doing. So you can point at the defensive issues, which have absolutely been a problem. But you also got to look at the bigger picture as well. You know, we're in a situation where in those kind of games, Sunderland, Brentford, games that we didn't win, we didn't create enough opportunities either. So I think it's easy to point the finger at the defence because that's where the mistakes were made and that caused the goals. But in those games, we also didn't create enough opportunities or score or score enough goals. So the defence, right, is probably the weakest part, but it's not as bad as people think. We've shipped 11 goals in 11 games this season, and if you look at our goal difference, I think is plus 10 maybe, which is not bad. So yeah, we need to improve defensively, but I think Wesley Fofana coming back is a huge plus for the defence. The 2 games that he's played recently, the Spurs and the Wolves game, he was very, very good. And I think with Colwell out, he's going to be key.
You don't think he's out for the season, Colwell?
Yeah,
Most
I think
likely,
so. Yeah, I think he will be out for the season. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, they might try and get him back before, but I don't really see the point. You know, he might get a few games towards the end of the season, but he's not going to make a meaningful contribution this season. So, yeah, that's obviously a big blow. But no, I don't think the defense is terrible. But at the same time, you know, it's definitely the weakest area of the team. But it's also not been helped by the fact that Maresca keeps changing the centre-back partnership like every game. And that in itself is going to lead to inconsistencies and cause problems. The one area you don't want to be making changes constantly is your centre-back pairing. So, yeah, hopefully with Chalobah and Fofana now, I think that appears to be the partnership that he wants to go with. So just stick with that in the league and let's see what happens.
I like, for me, and if Chelsea finish top 3, I think that'll be all right. It depends on how far are they from the top. But I said that before. Consistency is key for Chelsea. I think the attack is scoring a lot of goals. I don't rate the attack as much. I don't rate the likes of Neto. Neto's good, but he's not amazing. No. I don't rate Garnacho. I don't rate Gittins. Estevao is fantastic. He's great. The kid is amazing. But for me, if I'm looking at this, it depends on how Liverpool do. I'm not sure if Liverpool can come back. Liverpool are like 2 points only behind Chelsea.
2 attacks in the Prem.
Huh?
Did you not say earlier you thought Chelsea was top 2 attacks in the Prem? Though?
They scored them second most goals, right? But if I'm looking at their attack, I don't like it. I don't think it's with the amount of players they have and the money they spent on the attack. I expected a better attack.
Quality.
Yeah, I expected way better attack than this, bro. Way better.
When you look at it, you're not scared.
Like even Chelsea fans would tell you, yes, we scored a lot of goals, but it could have been much better attack than this. You know what I mean? Like if I look at United, for example, so forget that Cisco got injured. Mbuemo and Cunha, this could have been the 2 wingers for Chelsea. You know what I mean? These could have been the 2 wingers.
But we would never have gone for players like that. I mean, they could have been, sure, but I mean, yeah, we were never linked with players like that. Look, I agree. I don't think the attack's like amazing. You've got Neto, who is a good player, but he's not got that kind of wow factor that is gonna get people excited. Estevao has got that, and he's very, very good. Gittins is not at the level right now. He needs time to get up to speed. Garnacho has shown promise in the last few games, but we need to see a consistent level of performance from him. So when you're looking at those wide players, and it's Neto and Estevao, and then it's Garnacho and Gittins on the other side, other than Neto, there's no consistent performers right now. Obviously, Estevao is making an impact when he plays, but you know, in terms of week in, week out consistency, you've got 1 at a push, 2 out of the 4 who are consistent and kind of at the level required to take us forward. Garnacho and Gittins could develop into those players, but that's not going to help us this season or right now. So yeah, look, the attack is, I would say it is a little bit underwhelming, but it does function and it has caused problems. But whether it's good enough over a 38-game season to win us enough points to be in a title race, I'm still yet to be convinced on that.
I don't know. Like, it's the thing about the Chelsea thing is, I really want Chelsea to compete because it's good for the Premier League that Chelsea compete. If Palmer comes back, but if you are third without Cole Palmer, someone told me this the other day. When Cole Palmer comes back, then, like, I think Chelsea should be like 2 times better in terms of attack.
Oh, we should be better. I mean, we've done well without him. There was a time. There was a time when, if Palmer didn't play, we'd be finished. We'd be fucked. And we wouldn't be able to win games or get points. We have now moved away from the Palmer dependency. He's played 2 or 3 Premier League games this season, and one of them was 20 minutes at Old Trafford before he got injured. So he's barely played for us in the league. So we're in a situation where we're top 3. I think we're second top scorers in the league, and we haven't had Palmer all season. And whatever people think of Delap, he has kind of been signed as the main striker for us this season. Like we barely had him either. So when you look at 2 of the main attacking options for this team, then what we've done without them is not bad. So yeah, look, definitely with Palmer coming back, that should make a big difference. And I even think Delap coming back, whilst he might not be a fancy name and whilst he might not be a out and out sort of top level goal scorer, he will also make the team better.
Do you agree with this or no? Not Sesko.
No, why would Sesko walk into... Sesko's done nothing at United.
Sesko has done nothing yet.
Sesko don't walk into Chelsea. I don't think Bruno doesn't. Ahmad doesn't.
100% Bruno would.
Where?
Enzo Fernandez have been underwhelming this season, and
in the 10 he would probably play.
Enzo Fernandez has been underwhelming this season. Listen, I am someone who said that Enzo Fernandez is one of the best midfielders in the league last season, right?
If you're talking about playing Bruno in the 10, Bruno don't walk into the team over Cole Palmer in a 10, no chance.
Well, he's not fit now, is he? So
no, but like if we're talking walking into the Chelsea team, right?
Is that what you think Cole Palmer will play in the 10?
Yeah, he'll play 10. So Sesko don't walk in. Ahmad doesn't walk in because we don't play wing backs, so he doesn't get in the team.
As a winger,
he gets in. I still don't. What, on the right hand side?
Yeah.
No, what, Ahmad?
It's a debate. It's a debate.
Between who?
I'd rather have Esteval over Ahmad on the right side.
I think there's a debate between those two. They're both
bro, you're never going to argue with a Chelsea fan over Esteval. They think Esteval is better than Saka, Ahmad.
No, I've never said that, but I would.
Most of them think this. Most of people think
Mbeumo gets in front of Esteval.
But he's talking about like those players walking into the team. None of them walk into the team.
Mbeumo walks in.
And Mbeumo could well start, but the rest of them, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, the rest of them ain't had a great enough start.
No, I like Cunha, by the way. He's been poor this season.
He'll probably end up in your line.
Cunha could if he shows, but like Sesko's done nothing. Cunha's done nothing this season. So yeah,
do you know? On your point, Mo, you said something about you don't really rate Chelsea's attack that highly.
I don't.
Not because of name or because of the ability. If you look at GA throughout the entire the season in the Premier League and Champions League alone, I think the highest GA person is Joao Pedro with 7.
Yeah.
And if you look at Liverpool's lineup is not like we can all agree offensively we've not been that great, but Mo Salah's got 8. I think Gakpo's got 7. Ryan Gravenberch has got 5. Szoboszlai's got 7. Like those are the GAs of a team that's not performed well going forward or defensively, and those are the numbers they're putting out. So it kind of makes sense where you're coming from.
Yeah, but if you compare that to Arsenal, for example, GA up top.
Oh yeah, Arsenal probably ahead. It's probably higher. I've only got Liverpool.
No,
and
no,
Chelsea
Arsenal is less.
No, I think their best player. Because I know
Arsenal forward line. Victor Gyökeres has 4 GA. Trossard has 4 GA. That's
in the Prem alone. I'm talking Prem and Champions League.
Oh, okay. I'm only talking Premier League, to be honest.
Oh, I'm talking both. I'm talking hope. It's more or less agreeing with your point because all the GA that they have in the Prem and the Champions League is not high compared to Arsenal. Because I know for a fact, Gyökeres has got.
To be honest with you, I didn't even look at
well.
the GA. I swear, I didn't even look at the GA, guys. I just looked at the quality of the players.
No, but the GAs agree.
None of you guys would take Garnacho, Neto, or Gittins or Delap to start in their team. None of you. Even the underperforming Liverpool would not do that. They would not swap that. The only guy that might get a shout is Esteva because we see the talent. Yeah. Like I didn't even see Chelsea fans sit here and tell me that they're so convinced that Garnacho and Gittins will take them to a title at one time in their life, or Neto. Like, I haven't seen a Chelsea fan. They'll say Estevao, maybe João Pedro, the 10. No Chelsea fan would say that. They don't even rate their forward line.
That forward line, it means everyone else.
In a serious team, Pedro Neto is a rotation player.
Yes, exactly. He's the Madueke of.
I like him. I like him, but you're not going to win in my opinion, you won't win a Premier League title with Pedro Neto as your main winger. You won't. Like, he's not got enough about him to do that.
The injuries killed him.
But he has been without injuries for a year and a half now.
But Mo, in his development, he had 2 sets.
That's fine. We are here now, Tram. We are here today. We're not talking about what happened today. Charlie's 100% correct. Nobody is going to sit and say, yep, my title-winning team would have Pedro Neto as the starting right or left winger in it. Nobody would say that.
As a squad option, absolutely. But in terms of, he should be a rotation option, Neto. But he starts every game for us. I like him. He's not crap or anything. But, yeah, if you're going to win the Premier League, he has to be an alternative option. You've got to have someone better than that. That's just my opinion. If other Chelsea fans disagree, that's fine. That's not me saying Neto's bad, but I think if you're going to win a Premier League title, you need someone better than him.
For example, does anybody see Gittins and Garnacho being as starting wingers in a title-winning team?
No.
Not at this point in time. No.
Exactly, not at this point. And I don't see, I might be proven wrong in the future, but I don't see it happening as the title-winning team have a Garnacho starting left winger for Chelsea, for example.
This point from Mafia in the chat is
say that again. From who?
Point from Mafia in the chat, the bottom one about Trossard, right? Trossard doesn't start every week for Arsenal. He's a rotation winger. So that point doesn't run at all because
I also would have swapped Trossard.
Trossard's doesn't start every single week for him. That's the whole point. So that's a nonsense point. It doesn't make sense at all.
I wouldn't swap Gittins for Trossard, bro.
Yeah, but you would but even if you ask Arsenal fans and you think, what's the one position that you guys want to improve on? They'll tell you left winger. Right away. Like every single Arsenal fan will answer the same exact answer. We can improve on the left winger. That's it.
I still wouldn't take Chelsea left wingers.
For Chelsea, wouldn't take Chelsea wingers. Chelsea fans wouldn't take Chelsea wingers.
Yeah, but our left wingers, I wouldn't swap their left wingers for ours.
And that is so Chelsea scoring a lot of goals, an abundance of goals in the league. 21 goals in 11 games. That is almost 2 goals a game. Yeah, these goals are coming from different players.
A lot of them are coming from set pieces. I think we scored 11 goals from set pieces.
No one else scores set pieces, just Arsenal.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. We got over half our goals have come from set pieces.
You got 11 goals in set pieces in the league.
I'm not sure. It's 11 goals from set pieces. That might be all comps, or it might be the league. I'm not sure, but we have got 11 goals from set pieces.
Let me get the stats. Hang on.
We have scored a few from set plays. Yeah.
people really think that people like, oh my God, Chelsea. So we should sit here. You know that some people in the chat, Chelsea fans, are so upset that we should sit here and say Garnacho's great.
They got butthurt by the smallest.
Gittins is fantastic. Neto's the next big thing. Estiva is Yamal level. You know what I mean?
Like, this is what they do. This is what they do.
I'm being serious, bro.
When you talk about their attack, and then they'll say
it's not only Chelsea fans. I'm going to tell you what. It's not only Chelsea fans. When I said Arsenal attack is not great, Arsenal fans got annoyed. They got annoyed.
That's crazy to like our attack is not mental, and that's cool because not every area of your pitch can be mental.
And that's what I mean saying Arsenal. That's exactly what I said. Just moving on from Chelsea. Your team doesn't have to have every single line the best in the league for you to win the league. It doesn't have to be. Like, notice, I don't see that. I can't remember teams in the history of the sport that are so complete in every single position. That hasn't happened. You actually hide the flaws by actually amplifying your strengths. That's what football is about. That's what Pep Guardiola did when he didn't allow people to go on PK, for example, at Barcelona, because he was not a great one-on-one defender. What is wrong with what I said?
What about PK?
We're not because I'm not going to
like for example, if you're looking at Barcelona, for example, if you're looking at Real Madrid, for example, Marcelo was not a great defender. That means if you can. He's not a great defender. He's a fantastic left back going forward. But if you can hide the flaws, Trent Alexander-Arnold, for example, is not a great defender. You hide the flaws of your players.
That was never hidden. It did not.
It was hidden. There is a reason why they reached 3 Champions League finals and they won the league and they won the Champions League. You see it sometimes. But it's not a. I don't think you get the point. It's not a constant problem. It's not a constant, like you don't see it. Oh my God, it happens every now and then and people talk about it. But it's not highlighted every single game because Jurgen Klopp can hide that flaw. Pep Guardiola, good coaches do this.
I just think they had other areas of the pitch that were just way better. I don't think they.
That's the whole point.
He got grilled every game, even when you got
me saying Arsenal attack currently, like Saka is not having the greatest season yet because he was injured, he was out. He was in and out of the team. Madueke started and then he got sub. Eucharist started slow. Eucharist started good. In the left winger, there was Martinelli once, Trossard once. Ødegaard is not there. That's not shame to say that. People just misunderstand.
Saka to be on 6 goals at this point in the year, man. And if people are saying he's having a horrible season, I'm cool with it.
Charlie, just on your point about the set pieces thing, 43% of your goals have been from set pieces. So
it's 11 goals.
Goalkeepers, free kicks, corners, and 1 penalty. If you want to discount the penalty, then it's about 38%. So it's not that bad. It's not. No,
but 43% is a high percentage, bro.
But that's something we've massively improved on though. Like last season, we were so bad at set pieces. 62? So
before we talk about Arsenal, I wanted to actually mention City and Liverpool in that game, right? Because I want to speak about this. There was a gap in quality that I saw on the pitch, and I mean gap in quality. And I'm not sure if that is down to the coaching. It's just down to, I don't know, like for example, it's not coaching only.
I think some of it is down to the coaching mode because Liverpool tactically were clueless.
Yeah, but can I give you what I mean by quality? For example, Doku gets the ball, he has the confidence to go and dribble past 2 players to make something happen. Salah gets the ball, Man City are not even doubling on him. Nico O'Reilly is just dispossessing him, is blocking him. You know, Ekitike gets the ball. Yeah, he completed 7 passes, which is 7 out of 7. But otherwise, he surrendered to the defense of Manchester City. Surrendered, right? Haaland was trying to move during the game to create space for himself, drop deep and get the ball. That is not only coaching, that is also the player's will. Quality is not only the ability, because we know that Ekitike has ability. We know that Wirtz has ability. It's all about the willingness to run, the willingness to create space for himself. The football, like, you know what, I'm going to move to create that space for my teammate. I saw Nico Gonzalez having a good game. I saw McAllister having a terrible game. For example, Gravenberch was awful on the ball. Nico Gonzalez was better than them. And it's not a general ability, but on this game, I saw just the quality. Because Liverpool had 50% ball position. They just couldn't do anything with it. Right? The players couldn't connect. The players wouldn't connect simple passes, guys. It's simple passes. Just pass the 15 yards. Connect it, bro.
Do you think people are playing you a bit differently this year?
People are what?
Do you think teams are setting up differently against Liverpool at this point on earth?
But Man City pressed Liverpool and Liverpool couldn't get out of the press.
In general,
Man City,
do you think this year people are setting up a bit differently than what they did last year?
No, I don't think so. I think every team played Liverpool, played in a different way. Palace played different than City, played different than Brentford, played different than Galata. Everyone plays Liverpool. Bro, I'm gonna tell you, Chelsea, for example, they played Liverpool. Chelsea were like toe to toe with them. We're not gonna let you dominate. We're gonna try to play toe to toe with you. Crystal Palace sat deep. Everyone played different against Liverpool. Like there is no blueprint to beat Liverpool, as people say. But Chelsea beat Liverpool very different than Sunderland, than Brentford. It's completely different two ways of playing football. City beat them completely different, right? It's just a different way of playing against Liverpool every time. I'm not sure if Liverpool will come back, actually. I actually think that Liverpool might get dragged in a top 4 situation.
I would inject that right into my veins.
I think so, because Salah is going to go to AFCON. We don't know if Isak is going to come back.
Salah going to AFCON doesn't really make any difference. He's done fuck.
It does.
It doesn't. It actually might be. No, I think it actually be better for him, to be honest, because that means
who's gonna start from the right side?
Because then though he hasn't got the decision of have I got the bollocks to drop Salah when he should be dropped. That's taken out of the equation. So then he can actually probably play players that maybe deserve to play and players that might actually be better for the team. People might think that's unpopular, but Salah has been a net negative this season, and Slot so far. I mean, some games he has dropped him, but he's not really shown that he's got it in him to drop him on a consistent basis. So that actually might benefit him.
Who would you drop Mo Salah for?
But who would he play on the right side? Chiesa, you want to tell me?
Oh,
I think a lot of people get onto managers. Like people are getting onto Arteta for subbing like Mascara on. But then when I asked the question, like, who would you sub on? Like, no one's got an answer. And sometimes there is just nobody else in the squad, bro. And that is, I think, another issue for Liverpool is you take Mo Salah off. Like he played Frimpong there the other day. Like you take Mo Salah off, who are you gonna put there? Like that is an issue.
I mean, it is an issue. But I mean, look, you could play. I mean, why could Ekatike not drift out there? You know, you could play him and Isak and then whoever else on the left. Like there are options there. There's not really a natural sort of fit, but there are options. Like it's not like Salah has to play, and then we haven't got anyone else that can play there. There are other options, but
I think particularly, I think everyone's talking about formation, structure, and everything about the style of play as well is all valid. But if you're talking about just particularly that Manchester City game, it was mentality at the end of the day. As soon as we conceded that penalty, our arse is dropped. Like. We've decided to play anti-football. We couldn't string a pass together. Some of the players didn't look up for it. Also, we looked so lethargic in our press. We didn't even press them properly. Like their first goal was because of a half press done by a couple of players, and then everyone pushed up, and then they exposed the gaps in behind, and behind both in front of the midfield and in behind in the defense. Kept our players 1v1. Bradley versus Doku. And if there's an opportunity, it was Cherky against Robertson at times. So at this moment, I feel you could talk about systems, you could talk about tactics, you could talk about players, talk about how you're going to fit the players together. But at the end of the day, if you're talking about just that Manchester City game, yes, the tactics were poor in my opinion. We should have played a little bit more conservatively. But it's the players. The players played a really poor game. The mentality of the players was poor. You look at the first goal. The first goal was poor. The second goal, poor piece of defending.
You not think though, you've gone out, and you spent 400, 500 mil, whatever it is, and you've bought no left winger, you bought no right winger for if Salah's getting on, so you should have. You've gone and bought a 10, which is a position you didn't really play with, which is not. Well, I don't think that was that important. And then you've gone and bought 2 strikers
and no centre back.
Sorry.
and no centre back.
Yeah, so like, do you not think? And then you bought like a little kid centre back who then unfortunately got injured. So I think your window has a lot of contribution to the why you stink right now. Because on paper, like when you see Issa Ekatike works, you think, wow, like power, as a great man once said. But I just think like if you looked at your squad on like let's say you put everyone into category, you said how many people can we play here? Can we play here? I think you've just gone and bought a bunch of people that I'm not really sure you needed.
No,
I agree with that.
It's to also to an extent like because at the end of the day, everyone was talking about how poor Szoboszlai was at that 10, and we needed more GA from that.
But you won the league with no 10.
Yeah, you can't criticize you last year. You won the league.
No, I was on stream with Judge Mo, and I kept telling him the importance of Szoboszlai, and he's like, no, he's actually quite useless in the 10. You should do better. You should get better.
Yeah, if your team's won the league, it's good enough.
But
that's not what was being told last season.
No, I disagree with it. Go ahead, Charlie, because before I say
Wirtz is not a bad footballer. We can all agree that Wirtz is a top level player, right? But he's come in and he's upset the balance of the team. Now that's not his fault, but he's upset the balance of the team. He upsets the balance in the midfield, and he at this point in time, in my opinion, he's too lightweight for the Premier League. He hasn't got the physicality.
He softens it right up.
Yeah, he softens it up. Liverpool's midfield. Liverpool's midfield is much better when there's Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch in there. But when you spend over £100 million on a player like Wirtz, then you have to make it work. So he has to play, and he has to find a different way of making that midfield work. And when you sign two players for over 100 million, British transfer record, both of them, they both need to be starting every week, and the team needs to be built around them, and the system needs to be built around them. Because otherwise, what is the point in signing them? If you someone has to miss out.
Like whether you like, if you're going to play Wirtz in the 10, one of them got to go.
You have if you if you look at it, you're talking about all these players having to fit players in the team. Why can't we take the players that are not performing at this very moment, like McAllister?
Because you have nobody else to play.
Why can't Szoboszlai play over there?
Yeah, I agree.
I hear that. That's why I think
that's fair. But
I genuinely believe, guys, the problem with them is they don't have a Caicedo. They don't have a Rice. They don't have a Nico.
I don't think that's the problem, though.
I'm being completely honest.
No, because
I'm being completely honest. If you want to play Wirtz,
I'll quote the problem they've got is was meant to be Gravenberch.
Is what? Hold on, Charlie. I want to hear this because now this is going to be the problem. Listen to this. Listen what he says.
I'll quote unquote Caicedo and Rice was meant to be Gravenberch this season.
Fantastic.
Right?
Do you know what the problem is? He had a fantastic season last season. He just couldn't replicate last season this season.
No, how many times? What did he say against Everton, which really wound me up the wrong way, Mo?
Bro. The tackles are down. The interceptions are down.
Sure.
The coverage for them are down. That's one of the things about is the protection. And
I think it's disingenuous though, because with Gravenberch, right, and we saw it against Chelsea when Caicedo scored. For whatever reason, Slot is giving license to Gravenberch or asking Gravenberch to push higher up the pitch. And that game against Chelsea was a prime example. Gravenberch was pushed higher up the pitch. When Caicedo receives the ball, there's a massive space which Gravenberch would normally be in. So Gravenberch this season, all right, he's not been as good as he was last season so far, but I think a large part of that is because Slot is telling him to push higher up the pitch.
Yeah, but it's not only that. It's not only that.
It's not only that, but that's a big factor.
That is not only. There is another point. I think Liverpool don't defend like what Arsenal do and Man City do. That's the problem. There is too many luxury players on the pitch that are not coming back. Last season, when they played Matías Nunes, Diaz, and Gakpo, or even Jota, right? May he rest in peace. It's very simple. All of them, maybe Salah would come back a little bit, but everyone else is working off the ball to cover the spaces and make it very tight for the other team, right? Like what Man City do. Even Erling Haaland now is being very tight to the middle to make it very hard for the opposition to break the lines, to play the pass between the lines. Arsenal do it. Arsenal are the first one to do it. You, by the way, your team, Charlie, against big teams, you guys do it perfectly. You did it against PSG. I'm not going to... Spurs are a big team, right? Like, you're playing them at their home. Every time Spurs tried to build, you guys were so compact that Spurs couldn't build shit through your lines, right? Liverpool, Ekitike doesn't defend. When was the last time you see Ekitike coming back to be compact to the middle? Mourinho spoke about this, right?
Yeah, Real Madrid.
Okay. Yes, because why? You had 36% ball position or 38, because that was by design. Gakpo doesn't defend, right? He doesn't defend as much, like he defends sometimes.
But doesn't defend.
And now you have Wirtz, who is stats show that Wirtz is running around, right? Go check Wirtz stats in terms of
he's covering ground. Yeah, he's covering ground.
Covering ground doesn't mean you're defending.
No,
covering ground means you're trying. Covering ground, just covering ground. He's not in the wrong place.
But this is a good point, though. And I said this to Hassam the other week, right? Liverpool have gone from a team that works really hard as a unit off the ball, bar Salah, and you can get away with that with one player. They've now signed Wirtz and Isak, right? And that front line, when you take out Luis Diaz as well, who led that press, they don't press collectively as a unit from the front. Even
after the press get bypassed,
bro,
the amateur.
They've got too many luxury players. Too many luxury players in that team now.
You guys know the Sunday League teams, when you're like the 3 forwards think that I'm only working when we have the ball. When we don't have the ball, I'm just like I'm containing, and then once the ball is behind me, I'm done. I'm not in the game anymore. I don't have to work. Right? This is Sunday League stuff. Liverpool, you watch Liverpool. The game is happening behind 4 players all the time. Chelsea had this problem last season when people complained about why the wingers are not contributing defensively against smaller teams. Why we're having 1-on-1s against the oppositions. I think the problem is Liverpool. You can't get away with it in the Premier League. You won't be able to get away with this in the Premier League. It's impossible.
Teams are targeting Salah now as well. Like how many times have we seen opposition players come out after a game saying we're targeting the space in behind Salah, then we're 1-on-1 with that fullback every time.
And
Cucurella said it after.
So do you think that it's harsh for people to be getting onto Conor Bradley then?
No.
Again, it's Doku. Doku would cook 99% of the fullbacks if they're left isolated in the league.
Conor Bradley is always 1v1 constantly.
Here's the problem because of like the players in the pitch, they're trying to cover so much space around the wingers, the striker that doesn't cover, that doesn't come back. Right, that's too many players. And Wirtz.
Bad as what people say is. I don't think Conor Bradley is as bad. I think he's just an easy scapegoat. When the reality is like no one else in the Prem gets left 1v1 on every single attack.
No, he's not helped. He's not helped. But also, what hasn't helped Liverpool is that they've had to replace half their back line. Right, so both fullbacks have changed, and in Kirkez and Frimpong, they've signed 2 players who do not suit the way that Arne Slot plays. They are not Arne Slot.
Charlie, we don't know what is his way of playing football. We have no idea.
No, but what I'm saying is, Mo, when you look at last season, right, and you look at Trent and Robertson playing in that team, right, they suited that team, okay? And now they're both. Well, Robertson's still there, but you bring in Kirkez and you bring in Frimpong, and these are 2 totally different fullbacks that, for me, are not the right profiles for what Slot is looking for the way that his team plays. So again, it goes back to what I was saying about you've got to play to get the best out of Wirtz and Isak. You've also got to play a way that gets the best out of Kirkez and Frimpong. Kirkez and Frimpong, you know what their strengths are. It's getting up the pitch and attacking. You knew that before you signed them. So this shouldn't be a surprise.
How different was Kirkez supposed to be to Robertson?
Well, people were telling me last season that Kirkez was the best left back in the league.
Yes, factually, he was the left back that got into team of the season last season. That's facts.
Yeah,
right? We're not going to change that.
It's a bad one.
But maybe it is much different playing. Maybe it's different playing for Liverpool. I think it was overhyped. He's a good player only.
Step up, Mo. From Bournemouth to Liverpool is a huge step up. No, he's not a bad footballer, by the way. He was good at Bournemouth last season, but it's how many times have we seen it, right? Players thriving at a lesser club, they then make the step up to a big club. Well, I'm not writing him off, by the way, because he's got plenty of time to get into it, and I'm sure he'll be a success eventually. But it can take players quite a long time, and sometimes players don't adapt at all from making a step up from big fish to small pond to just another guy at a massive football club.
But can I explain to you how, like, the problem is with Kirkes is that Liverpool are playing a very strange formation that they're not used to. The left back is actually a left center back all the time. The majority, if you look at his heat map and where he touches the ball, the guy doesn't go forward. He goes forward. He barely goes forward.
Why was he signed then? Because going forward is like the main part of his game.
I have no idea why.
That's the $1 million question.
Arne Slot is insisting on Kirkes being the left center back for them. He's trying to do the Bastoni role.
And
They tried to invert him, and
He inverted him because
Every
he inverted him in the beginning and it didn't work out. So he told him stay back as a left center back to cover for Wirtz and Gakpo and the players that don't come back.
But he doesn't do that either. So why was he signed then?
But the problem is because they saw Kirkes as the similar profile to Robertson, rapid, quick, go up and down the pitch. And they just signed the guy.
And then he doesn't get up and down the pitch at all. So what are we doing here?
He doesn't even ask him to go up and down the pitch. He doesn't. By the way, Robertson last season didn't go up and down the pitch. Robertson was a left center back.
That's why when we signed him, I thought it was going to be similar to what Robertson was under Klopp.
Is last season.
No, but that's what we want. That's what we want. No, but Mo, you ask every Liverpool fan, that's what we wanted someone to be like. What Robertson was under Klopp, going up and down that pitch.
I'm going to tell you guys something, to be honest with you. I think Arne Slot is just being found out in terms of tactics and coaching with new elements in the team. I don't think he knows how to set up a team to win football matches.
It's just too much change. You just have to
too many new players, too many elements in the team that he doesn't know how to utilize them. He just doesn't know.
He's not setting the team up to get the best out of them. That's
the thing.
Yes, 100%. You're spot on.
I still say when we signed all those players, I still told everybody, even if they don't start, it's still adding to the depth with adding on top of our title-winning team. We still have that title-winning team there that we can still rely on if things aren't going well for those new players. And unfortunately, you have to call a buck a buck. He put all those new players in such a quick time, which disturbed a lot of what's happening. And now we have to
starting 11. Half the starting 11 has changed from last season.
And that's where you can criticize.
You have that room to rely on anymore. I'm not sure you do.
Do you know what it is though, right? Look at Liverpool, right? And the recruitment they done this summer should have been what happened the summer after Klopp left. And last season maybe should have been a bit of a struggle. And then this season you would have had you would have had Isak bedded in for a season, Wirtz bedded in for a season, and then you'd maybe maybe you would do this season what you did last season.
Potentially, yeah. Potentially.
I think you lost a lot of pieces you lost a lot of pieces that I don't think Liverpool fans appreciated.
Diaz and Trent, even
Nunes and Shota. These people Nunes people didn't like, but these are people that were dogs. Like Nunes weren't the greatest striker on the ball. Like everyone knows that. But these are people that are dogs, and I think you've lost a lot of dogs and replaced them with like fairy players. And like
imagine players, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, like you've bought all these players that on paper, like even I saw Isak and thought I was unhappy that you had them. I was unhappy with your happiness. But at the same time, you've paired it with a bunch of and even your fullbacks, you bought very small fullbacks. You've then gone and bought a small 10, and then you've gone and bought these two strikers. You like realistically that you can't really play them at the same time. So I just can't see a world in which Slot said, I want all of these players, bring them to me. I just can't see that. And I think he's also going to be the scapegoat.
But then you say all this, but then in the same breath last season, we were told to upgrade in those players because those are the players.
For sure, but you changed the profile completely. An upgrade is not like changing profile. I think you just needed to improve on what you have. And don't get me wrong, I think Nunes is a bad player. For everyone getting on to me about Rovic, he's doo-doo, but he's a dog. Like he adds to what you do off the ball. Like
I don't think there's enough players that have got fight in them.
Yeah,
like you, for example, like with a Diaz, with a Jota, with a Nunes, right? They might not be the best footballers, but you could go to war with them. Whereas you look at the team now, and like when you're in the trenches and you're up against it and shit's getting tough, I'm looking at Isak. I'm not relying on Isak to go to the trenches with me. I'm looking at Florian Wirtz to go to the trenches with me. Like, I'm not seeing enough guys at Liverpool who have got that fight and desire to drag this team out of the mess that they're in.
Yeah, because even if I compare, I'm going to compare it to Arsenal. Like our forward line, if they give us nothing on the ball, I know they're going to give us everything off it. And the issue with what you've bought is if they don't give it to you on the ball, you haven't got enough off the ball to ride out these results. Like that is, I think, in the Premier League.
This Nunes thing last season. Nunes didn't play even.
He didn't start a lot of games.
Guys,
No one's saying Nunes is a miss, but his work rate.
Let me just say, the number of minutes you guys think Nunes plays actually doesn't equate to even half the season.
No, but
we're fixated on one player when I name 6 players.
Okay, Diaz, for example. Diaz. Okay, you want to say
Diaz is a big miss. He's a big miss because
absolutely not.
He led the
Absolutely not.
No, Diaz is a massive miss. Let's not do this.
Absolutely not.
Diaz is a massive miss.
People are looking at Diaz today at Bayern Munich and they think that this Luis Diaz is the one that played for Liverpool.
Bro, he's off the
Diaz, let me just say it. Let me just say it.
Leading the press. He led the
No, but not last season. Last season he didn't lead the press. Last season was Szoboszlai that was leading the press.
Oh my God.
Szoboszlai was the guy that was leading the press.
There's no denying that Diaz.
No, it's not. Okay, the people that keep saying.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Mo. How many?
I didn't even say my take, for fuck's sake. I didn't even say the take, for fuck's sake.
But how many Premier League attacks have got 3 people that are just booting off like that? Like how many?
Liverpool problem is not the press this season, right? Liverpool problem isn't the press.
It's about the press. It's not just about the press.
It's also personnel and also willingness to actually commit to tackles and do the tackles the right way. I don't know why people don't understand this. It's not about the press only. Football isn't about the press. You can win games without pressing. Man City don't fucking press.
But who said pressing?
You are everything you talk.
Who heard me say the word press?
You literally just let me fucking talk. Just close your mouth.
Well, you can just put it
let me talk. You literally. Oh my fucking.
Let me tell you something,
bro. You started by saying, but he's leading the press. He's leading the press. He's leading the press.
I did say that, to be fair. I did say that.
And you just said that.
Who? Me? I never said anything about
so why Diaz? So why do you think Diaz was important then?
Off the ball, yeah. Just so we're all clear, off the ball doesn't just mean pressing, buddy. Yeah?
Break it down. Break it down.
There's still game to play. Just so we're clear.
Okay, off the ball, with the ball or without the ball?
How can you be off the ball?
You can't have. You can't be off the ball.
You can't be off the ball with the ball.
No. I'm gonna tell you what I mean by this. I'm gonna tell you what I mean by this before anybody. That's off the ball means when his team has the ball. His movement. There are
moving
off the ball. You guys, I don't think people understand. There are a lot of teams. There are a lot of forwards off the ball. They are very static. That's what it's called. Off the ball.
Yeah.
They're very static. Like Erling Haaland, for example, off the ball. Not with City, don't have the ball. When his team has the ball, but he has the ball, he is static, right? There are forwards like this in the world. That's the static forwards, number 9s that would stay in the box, just move 10, 15 yards around, and that's about it. They want to go around, they won't create space, they won't actually move outside the box, they won't get involved. That's what people don't understand. That's why I wanted to understand what he means by is Diaz on the, because Liverpool have 2 problems. Liverpool have a problem when they have the ball. Like Liverpool against City had 50% of the ball, so nobody was making enough movement off the ball. When Liverpool midfield and defense have the ball, the forward line were not making enough movement.
They were lazy. They were lazy.
That's what's called off the ball. Yes.
If you go and pick up Trent and put him back in the Liverpool team,
yes,
I still don't think that he does what everyone thinks they're missing because they don't have those runners anymore.
But does it maybe show
Diaz off the ball movement was not as good as what he was telling out to be.
By the way, Liverpool were good last season, right? Don't get me wrong. But does this maybe show that Salah having like a out of this world season plugged over a lot of issues potentially in that team? Because now Salah's not performing. Now I'm not saying I think that, but is it maybe showing that Salah
sound like a gal right now?
Carried a lot of no, but I'm not saying I believe that. I'm just putting it out there. Is it maybe masking some of the issues that were there, but because Salah was carrying that team, they didn't really show themselves?
Do you know why, Charlie? I don't agree with that. It's because at the start of the season, everyone was reaping praises for Ibu Konate and Virgil together.
Yeah.
And when people saw that Ibu Konate got injured by Hendrick, people were like, "Oh, Konate's injured. What's going to happen with Liverpool?" And turns out not much has happened. Then he came back.
Can I say something about this?
Go on.
Can I say something about Salah thing just quickly? Salah, his touches from last season are down, but they're not down that much, right? But every time Salah got the ball last season, he was in enough space to create things. This season, when he gets the ball, even in space, he doesn't create anything. He doesn't make things.
But on him, Mo, right? On him, though, you sign Wirtz and Isak, right, to take the load off Salah so that he doesn't have to produce like the vast bulk of the GA. But yeah, every time I watch Liverpool, they're constantly always looking for Salah still, rather than, you know, playing through.
Recently, we have, because we've gone back to Mo Salah being the main guy.
But do you think, though, like, for example, when Mo Salah got the ball last season, do you think that it's a possibility that there was more willing runners for Mo Salah to either go into space?
There were more runners. 100% there were.
Yeah,
like,
but that's spot on. There were definitely more runners. There were more runners.
A lot of these players, what they do, don't show up in GAs and all this other stuff because it's unselfish running.
No, but I think him as well. We have to understand that Salah is this season, for example, every time Salah crosses, 2 out of 3 crosses or 3 out of 4 crosses, they go to the goal kick. They're long, they're short, they hit the first man. His
quality's dropped, but the point is spot on that in a Diaz, you have willing runner. I know, like, his work rate might be maybe
as well used to run a lot as well, yeah.
Diogo Jota, willing runner. Whereas you've got players like Isak, who obviously is a top striker.
Ekitike is not a runner. Ekitike wants the ball to feet.
Ekitike
wants
he
can. He's not doing it. He's not doing it.
No, because
he's not doing it.
No, because when he was at Frankfurt, he showed both sides of the game.
Yeah. But we're talking about Liverpool, Ram. What Charlie's saying, but he's not doing it this season.
And that's where I have the question on the manager, bro. That's why I have questions on the manager, being like, we saw Ekitike provide both sides of the striker for Frankfurt.
Well, he played in the two with Marmoush, didn't he? And he played up
Marmoush, and then he became the main man at Frankfurt. So I was like, I wouldn't say he's like Nunes, where he runs around like a headless chicken, yeah. But he still knows how to press. He still knows when to make the right runs.
Like running around like a headless chicken is creating chaos, and in chaos there is creativity.
But Jota was a press. Jota rest his soul was an amazing presser.
Jota done that as well, yeah.
Well, he was never running like a headless chicken, but he knew when to press.
Anyway,
when and how to press.
It's a fantastic conversation, guys. By the way, guys, I just have 2 minutes because I have the football terrace in like 3 minutes. So.
Yeah, all right.
If you know, if you're setting up your defense and you know on the left side there's a crackhead runner running in behind every second, coming back and creating chaos on the other side, it's harder to squeeze the pitch on a player like Mo Salah. So there isn't going to be there just isn't going to be the same space that you had last year. There isn't going to be the same runners. There isn't going to be the same opportunities. Like
because those runners, right? Just quickly, those runners. They occupy other defenders and they drag those players out of position and created more space for Salah anyway. Like, it creates more space for those other players. And I don't think there's them players that were doing that aren't doing that anymore.
So who do they need to sign then to actually fill that spot?
No, they need to change the system.
Caicedo, if they can sign Caicedo,
they need to change the system.
Caicedo answers everything.
They got to change the system. They got to change
him in the world. He could do everything.
Forget Caicedo.
How about Declan Rice? Set pieces as well.
No, they need to change the system.
He could even play in goal if you wanted to.
Do you want the truth? I actually.
Change the system. They got to change the system.
I actually think they might need to change the coach.
Yeah.
Well, if the coach is, but if he's unwilling to change the system, then I wouldn't disagree. He needs to change the system and then go from there.
It's either he changes philosophy or they change the coach. It's either he changes that way of playing or they change the way they. Anyway, we'll see when Isak comes back. They have an easy run in. It starts with Nottingham Forest. We'll see if they win.
This is what a lot of like. I don't subscribe to the slot in, slot out stuff. Yeah, but this is what a lot of the people that are incoherently slot in say that this run is the easiest that we'll have, and I was like, cool. So we'll see what happens then. See what happens, because I think up until the end of the year, we've got like majority of them are 4 of the bottom 8.
But you got Forest, PSV, West Ham, and Sunderland and Leeds.
Yeah. So 4 of them are from the bottom 8, I think.
Is that Sunderland?
No, we got somebody else as well. We got somebody
Then
else.
you play the mighty Inter. That's when you come to the same.
Boys doing the business,
bro. Sunderland are home. It's an easy run-in. They can win the 4 games. They can win Leeds, Sunderland, West Ham, and Nottingham Forest. But I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys for real. To be honest, there is a possibility where Liverpool don't win against Forest.
Yeah, of course
there is a possibility.
I might overdose on that.
Like there is a possibility
that
Liverpool
is turning up with a filthy
exactly. There is a possibility. There is a possibility Liverpool don't win that game, and we're sitting here saying,
I'm just hoping for long. If that's the case, then I hope for long shot City from Soboslai. I swear to God, because that's the only way I can see us scoring there.
Wait to win a game against Arsenal.
We'll see. But listen, I want to thank everyone that joined us. Charlie's channel in the description, guys. So go and support Charlie as well.
You said Charlie's a journalist, not a content creator.
No, he's a content creator. He's jealous of Charlie. It's okay. You can write as well. And be a
why you think? You didn't. I thought you just said he was a journo. That's it, bro.
No, I do some writing, but I do content as well.
I'm just asking the questions. No, I'm just asking the questions. I'm just asking the questions.
Guys, the Ram stand as well in the description as well. So go and support Ram. MCFC Fan TV. That's Dylan Channel City, of course. And Paz the Creator. If you aren't following Paz on Instagram and TikTok, you're missing a lot. By the way, over Instagram and TikTok. This will take you to Football Terrace. Before we leave, guys, I want you guys to check out, hit that like button. We need to get to 200 likes. We still have over 400 people in the house. And also check out okjersey.com. Use the code JUDGE. I'm doing the reveal for the shirts that I got soon. Hopefully some vintage ones, very, very good ones as well. Don't forget to use the code JUDGE. I will see you guys in the Football Terrace with Sam. We're out of here, people.